How much of that was on camera? I don't know.
She did a countdown, so I mean.
We tried really hard to get none of it on camera.
But
Hi,
everybody
all of
is
this is on camera.
Welcome back.
Are you energized?
I am. Are you?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Blue Jay.
You're the negative and I'm the positive, and we made electricity. Science. That's how it works, right?
Yes.
The electrons go,
Yes.
hey,
And then the
y'all.
other things go like, what up? They were so well behaved in the first half, and everything's just.
We needed to pump ourselves up.
Yep, you did. Welcome back to GeekSpaceTV. We're pumped up and ready to roll. Some dice. You, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to continue with our.
Dice yet.
We haven't. We haven't. We're going to continue with our second half of Leviathan Distant Stars. Again, some really quick reminders. We appreciate and thrive off of your donations to keep butts in seats and pay our rent. So if you do donate during tonight's show, thank you so much. And also we will be reading out those messages at the end of the show. Similarly, if you'd like to set up a regular recurring donation, you should go check out our Patreon. And if you're confused about anything, go check out our Wikia. And if you have fan art, submit that through our fan art link. Be prepared to be inundated with links in chat.
Link.
Somebody do the Zelda song. I don't know.
That too.
Dun.
So let's, without further ado, dive right back into our action. Our crew of the Batleth has been joined by Ludwig van Pelt, a member of the Leonis Gynocracy. Is it Gynocracy or Gynocracy?
Let's go with Gynocracy.
Gynocracy.
Oh!
Did you just... Okay. This is the third time tonight
Claudia.
that Claudia has had a moment where she realizes something.
Gynecology.
No!
Yes.
Yes.
Do you know where gyno comes
both
from?
are Latin words that come
Yeah.
from the
Same
same
root.
root.
Yeah. And they are on a mission to reclaim the Helm of Gatora from this backroom deal in which the helm has been stolen by spirates. They need this in order to allow Ludwig van Pelt, their resident telepath, to drill into the mind of a voice of a Rays ship in order to steal a map to get to the Promethean system, where they can uncover information that will help them defend against the Rays, which are coming and will destroy everything. They will raze it to the ground. And with that, our crew came up with an unstoppable plan.
It can't be stopped.
Cannot be stopped.
Look at how long the break was. That's how long it took her to think of a way to stop it. That's pretty good for us.
I mean, she started being like, they're too smart.
They're too smart. How do I stop them? What am I gonna? Oh, they're gonna laugh it up.
Hey!
So their plan, their impeccable, their foolproof plan, is using the hench person that Rachel has acquired for them.
hench people now.
She has hench people. She basically has little birdies she can call on upon planets. They're going to sneak Thea in, wearing the server's uniform to pretend to be a server at Feelin' Gucky, the local Duranga gambling studio or house of gambling. It's a good name. It's a good name. And
If this were a television show, whenever you said Duranga, I feel like there'd be this like Duranga.
this is a wild west.
I like that there was a horse noise in there. I don't
That's
know.
force.
It's your first
Thea is on the inside. She's going to. He's a fucking lion. Good job. His last name is Van Pelt.
Excuse me, he said he was not planning on breeding.
He is a not currently fucking lion. His last name is Van Pelt.
Just put the spuzz, like.
Okay, it's not Carl's Jr.
That's true. It is no Carl's Jr. Nor is it KFC. So they're going to get Thea in. Thea's going to shut down the cameras on the inside.
Yeah.
Then Thea is going to, using whatever skills she has, apply the appropriate dosage of various drugs to various drinks and serve them at the secret meeting that is going to be happening on the second floor between someone they know that is from the Chartreuse Serpent who is selling the Helm of Gatora to someone they don't know yet. Once they get there, thank you for the raid, exploding dice. Once Thea gets in the room, there will allow some time to pass where presumably everyone in that room will pass out from the immaculately prescribed drugs. The crew will then climb up the outside of the building while Ludwig ensures that the bouncer is unaware of their presence. They will get to the roof. They'll get in the building somehow. It's unclear exactly how. They'll get in. They'll steal the helm while from the room of sleeping peoples, possibly lions, we don't know. And then they'll get out. And they have a backup plan. Their backup plan is to set off the alarms. And I think, is that everything? Is that all we? Is that
Set
the
off the
entire
alarm.
plan?
Wait, you missed an
Oh, and
integral part.
stab people.
Set off alarms and violence.
Yes, and that brings us to the execution of the plan. You need to acquire some drugs.
I want to acquire some drugs.
Go ahead and roll me your connect to go drug shopping.
Just connect.
I'll take connect and charisma.
Can I? Oh, never mind. Well, yeah. Can I?
I guess I'd also. Yeah. Trade is the other skill, right? Trade is a skill.
Yeah, trade the skill.
Trade's a skill. I will take connect or trade.
Okay. Well, I'll
and you
do
can support
connect.
with either one.
Yeah, I'd love to support with. This is not the first time that Thea has tried to make sure that nobody in the house wakes up while she removes any and all valuables that may be there. So she was like, oh, I know you've probably got names, but I hear
gives you
this
a
market
list
is
of drugs.
particularly good right now.
Okay.
She gives you a post-it note with a bunch of drugs written on them, ranked on availability.
Cool. Give me the drugs.
Can I try to make a telepathic contact to figure out what they're up to?
Please do. Yeah. So which ability do you want to use for
I don't tell them. I'm just gonna try to make a telepathic connection to Thea.
Okay. So depending on which one it is, she may get a mental saving throw.
Yes, she can. She probably doesn't know I'm making it unless she's psychic.
Look.
She is nope.
But she does get a mental saving throw, I think.
Okay, so she got a 7. Does that give me any pluses or?
Add 1 to whatever you roll.
Okay.
It's not good enough to get you an extra die.
9.
9. Okay. So with that, go ahead and roll me.
Actually, basic contact is not a saving throw.
Okay, that's what I thought. We'll do that in a second. Roll me 2d4.
Okay. 4.
4. You get 4 doses of a drug called Quiet.
Okay.
That's a really good one.
The Quiet is administered heavily enough, can make people fully unconscious at sort of various levels of it's basically an opiate. Like, if you give people enough, they'll pass out. If you don't, they'll be pretty loosey-goosey.
Okay.
So even if you end up, having to get in a fight with someone, they are
They'll
going
be
to be rolling some penalties. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I get the quiet and I probably hand it off to Thea and I'm like, I don't hear drugs. And I just give it to her because she gave me the
baggie.
list.
It's got 4 little vials in it. It is a liquid.
Okay.
Yeah, she gave me the list, so she would know what it's about and what it does, probably better than I do. I just got the contacts. So yeah.
Thea's like, thanks. She takes him and tucks him into the server uniform. I'm assuming that there's some sort of place where they would usually keep their pad for writing down, drink orders and things like that.
pockets. Yes.
Yeah. So she would tuck
It's
it
the
into
future.
there.
It has pockets.
Everything.
What?
So many
I know. I know.
Are they bigger than this? I'm
Yeah.
so on board with
Yeah,
that.
they're full hand pockets.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my god.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, your whole hand can fit
What?
in these pockets.
Okay.
So you have 4 doses of Quiet. You are doing a telepathic contact. I think this is the very surface level one where you don't read thoughts, right?
Because I have level 2, I get current thoughts, but not memories or non-obvious connections.
Okay. And I don't think it's one you have to roll. You just have to commit the
Yeah, I
point of
just have
effort.
to commit the
So you commit the point of effort, and what is your sort of very surface level thought? What's going through Thea's head?
Right now, as she's putting on the uniform and tucking the vials away, she's probably going through every single piece of the plan and trying to figure out if there are any pieces where something might go wrong. And there's a very sort of heavy, overboating sense of I have to get this right. I can't let the captain down. That isn't necessarily like a specific.
Ludwig doesn't
thought, but
understand
it's
what
like-
you do, so he's just trying to figure out what your part of this plan is.
I don't know that Thea would think about it in terms of her parts of the plan. She would be thinking about like where could something go wrong. So she would probably be like walking through as much as she can. You might like see her think about like, okay, so first things first, if the bouncer tries to reject me, doesn't believe that I'm actually, then I'll do that. Worst case scenario, I'll see if I can feed him the poison or the quiet and see if that can do something. Okay, if that doesn't work, then so she's kind of like walking through it in those pieces.
All right. He thought he heard you say something about stealing, and he was concerned.
Oh, about stealing in there?
You're definitely thinking about when you can pickpocket people.
I don't think she
I
doesn't.
think she's like
Really?
messed up and not fucking up.
Yeah, I got in a lot of trouble.
Wow.
Thea has never apologized like in her entire life,
I'm shocked.
except for once.
I am impressed.
We don't know that.
I am
No.
impressed by how afraid your humans are of you.
Do you actually say that to me?
Yes.
Oh. So Ziana for a second is like, and then kind of dims down. Anyways, are we all prepared?
I'm ready.
Do I have my cool grappling hook from the future?
Yes.
Sweet. I'm ready.
You have a grappling hook.
I have a grappling hook, several guns, some knives. I'm ready.
All right.
I've run my fancy.
Kika,
We're going into.
it's up to you.
No, immediately. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm not in trouble. I mean, I'm gonna scoop up there, grab onto the leather. We have stated that you wear a leather harness, and it's
So,
just like,
for those of you who don't know, Ziana, so she wears her normal like armor, but fashioned to the armor has been included a couple of like hook-looking like attachments, and they're not hooks themselves. It's like the kind of attachment that you might like clip a carabiner on to, and there's one each on each shoulder, and then at her hips there's like kind of smaller ones that look like you might be able to kind of stick your toes into, get some traction on there. And when not Thea, that would be a totally different visual. When Kika climbs up onto her back, it becomes immediately clear what all of these things are for. Little hand and foot holds.
yeah, it's like a grab the lower one, swoop up, catch the top one. Like it's very much they've been doing this for a long time.
And then I wear her like a backpack.
But a very excited backpack.
She kind of looks down at the little fuzzy man. Do you need any assistance?
I don't think so.
Excellent.
I use my foci, which is his claws, to assist climbing. They're not really that. Under his silver claws are like there are claws.
Did I
They're
give you
not-
both of those? I think so.
We went with the Savage Frey variant,
Oh, that's right. Yes. That's right.
Wow.
which should not be considered that effective. But yes.
It's cute.
The
It's pretty cute.
I probably shouldn't bring my bow. That's pretty suspicious. Should I bring my bow? Should I? Sword? Bow. Come on, boy.
if something goes wrong and the plan will no longer work, alert us immediately.
I'm not gonna let you down, Captain.
Alert us immediately. Doesn't really do any of us any good if we all die here. All right. Let's do this.
Okay. So, you arrive, Thea, first at the building. You are coming in with Pakram, and she's pretty smiley, gets up to the bouncer. Go ahead and just give me your perform roll for acting the part.
Oh, yay.
And how does Thea act the part is my other question.
12. 12, and the way that she acts the part is she looks like she's a little bit of a tired server, you know, the one that's like getting into work, that's sort of like, all right, here we go. But she also recognizes that if the bouncer has been there for a while, then she also needs to have that little bit of a new quality of like, oh, okay, so like looking around and like, oh, okay, this is where, like, there's where this is, there's where that
Packram's
is.
definitely just describing you as like, this is someone I know, like she was working at this other place and like we're bringing, like she just started here, like this is her first day and she's totally cool and all of that stuff. And you had a
12.
12, perfect. Bouncer sort of nods like, name? And just like, you're just
Nia.
next time. Nia, nice to meet you. Head on in. Thanks. And sort of like nods to Packram, who apparently like gives him a little wink. Leads you in. The first room that you kind of come in, it's very much set up. There's sort of one section that's like a couple of rows of what are sort of the equivalent of slot machines, like very much like screens with flashing lights, and somewhere between like slot machines and pachinko, where it's like sort of some of them have different varieties, but it's like very much you sit at your one place that's not manned by a person. And then there's some other tables with various types of games. You recognize a handful of them. You might be familiar with some of the games. And other ones you're like, I have no idea what these people are playing. But this time of day, it's kind of relatively early. In the evening, it's busy but not crowded. Like there are clearly people there playing, but it's definitely not like it's not currently a full bar. There's a bar section. You see a door that leads into what's probably a kitchen. Like you can kind of smell some stuff coming from there. Everything's like pretty dingy and dark. Like it's got that very casino vibe, but like not a good casino vibe, like the off the strip casino, where everything is like, it probably hasn't been cleaned in a while. There's definitely like some lingering bodily odors of people who spend more time here than they should. They don't want any like concept of the passage of time to be available to people in here. It's very much like, come here, spend a lot of money.
The Gucky Nugget.
The Gucky Nugget. No, feeling gucky.
I assume we would know, she would have already told us like, oh, here's, she would have given us not necessarily like a layout, but we would have been like, hey, draw for us where things are. Oh, is this where the office is, where
So
you
she
can
again
control
did describe to you the main floor is kind of like, there's the kitchen, there's the bar, there's the tables, and then up the stairs is like some rooms, and it's basically from what she probably didn't like, she drew it out like shittily on a napkin. She's like, there's a hallway, and then there's like about 6 rooms off of it, of various sizes. That's where people go to meetings, and generally just like sort of like conversations, and that's where like deals happen and stuff. Like sometimes servers will go in there, sometimes they'll be instructed not to go in there. And then there's a set of stairs at the end of that hallway. So it's kind of like it goes up, and like the stairs kind of turn around the corner. And they go up to the sort of offices section.
And the offices are where the security cameras were. I guess that's the part I'm trying to figure out, is like, does Thea already know where to go to mess with the cameras?
How
or
much
does
do
she
you
need to
like
figure it out?
press her about messing with the cameras?
I don't think Thea would phrase it as messing with the cameras.
Like what are you gonna ask her? And Rachel can have been part of this too. Like what sort of information about hacking would you be trying to get from her?
It would be more like, oh, okay, so, you know, great, we understand like the layout of things. Are there, she would have probably phrased it as like office sections, and then she would want to use, when she got in, she would want to use her data tab. On her
Essentially
hand to,
where
like,
the office is.
to be able to-
So she'd be like, yeah, the office is like all of the security and all of those people are up on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
And there is like a like there's an elevator. Like there is a way to get up and down. It's not the stairs, but for the most part, like guests use the elevators, and the servers will tend to use the stairs because it's tucked in the back, as opposed to the elevators are at the opposite end.
Okay. So I think the first thing that Thea does is fills up just a couple of drinks, and then she heads up the stairs up to the security room, or the offices where she knows that they'll be.
So when you try and go to the 2nd floor, there is another bouncer.
Oh,
So
okay.
there will be someone who's like monitoring who's going up and down. the stairs and to go through the elevator. It's a card access. Like people are swiping cards to get through.
Oh, well then Thea's gonna borrow somebody's card.
Okay.
Instead of trying to go past a bouncer with a bunch of drinks that she doesn't know if security ever accepts drinks or is allowed drinks.
Okay. So you're trying to get onto the second floor. Go ahead and give me your. We'll just roll it all into one. This is going to be your sneak and dexterity.
Awesome.
Using your deft, nimble fingers.
Perfect. Oh, okay. Let's see. I might want to re-roll this.
Oh, because you can't do that as an expert.
I can.
Wow.
But I think I'm actually going to keep this one because I'm at 10, and that seems like a good number.
Okay. So with the 10, you are able to kind of sneak past. You pick your easiest mark. You steal Pakram's badge.
So sorry, sweetie. She says that in her mind, but then
She's like you do it without her noticing, but like she was the easiest one. Like you're walking in behind her, you like kind of glance over, see someone. Actually, you probably saw it. Like it's kind of on like a sort of a pull tab.
And she probably
And
would
just-
have done it like at the very beginning. That way, Pocket would have been like, "Oh shoot, I left it at home," rather than someone else who has already used their badge for the day.
Does Thea have a sweetheart? She just said, "So sorry, sweetie," in her head
I think
through the scene.
what's your range? No, the
yeah.
duration isn't the question. It's how far, because I don't know if you need to be able to see them. I think it's 100 feet. Did you get the extended range one?
Yeah, I can't. I was trying to find the range. I couldn't find it normally. Extended gives you 100 to
Okay.
1,000 kilometers,
I probably
1,000
yeah.
kilometers?
but it's
Depending on-
certainly
that's like-
within the general.
Check in the
vicinity.
main text for the
Okay.
the core ability. I'd say I would probably lean towards right now you're close enough. If you're in the alleyway outside the building.
Yeah.
But if you are it depends on how soon after Thea goes in are you guys trying to go to the alleyway and go up.
Almost immediately.
Okay, so as she goes in, then you guys come into the alleyway. So we'll say you're close enough right now. So he says this to you.
She is probably referring casually to someone inside.
She doesn't have a
Interesting.
sweetheart anymore. We don't bring it up.
We don't.
Well,
And they were never. Just because they. You really need. For someone your age, I don't wish to have this conversation anymore. And she proceeds towards the
But he
aisle.
needs to know so he doesn't read it and then say it out loud.
We had a crew member. He and Thea were close. He is lost to us.
Like
For
while
now.
this conversation is happening, Rachel is like getting her like the
grappling
grappling hook out and like looking up at the
Like,
building,
measuring
and,
the
like making sure
distances.
like checking out where the cameras are and if they're still moving, meaning they're like on and like
Did you kill the crew member? Is that
No.
why she's so afraid of you?
No, I would not kill my crew.
Oh, that's good. I think. I don't know how people off of my world treat and discipline their crew.
Do the Leonis people routinely kill members of their crew?
Not unless they need to. That would be a waste of good abilities.
Indeed.
They merely punish them, chain them to rocks, leave them without meat for up to a day.
I should hope that such things would be a severe punishment for a severe crime.
I hope that I never, ever fail you enough that you leave me without meat for a day. Chain me to the hull of your ship if you need.
A whole day. You have quite the ravenous appetite.
Do you not eat meat daily?
I certainly eat daily, usually. There have been parts of my life where I have not.
Tragic.
Meep Meep, you're missing the best conversation.
Meep meep. Tell me more.
And like, so there's a little gossip corner happening in our brains of like, this guy Oh boy.
You
He's kept.
100% know that they're having a telepathic conversation.
He's
you can't read the
kept.
conversation, you can only read her side of it, but you have been aware that they have all been communicating telepathically.
Except for me.
Except for Rachel.
Do I know how they're doing it?
Probably not unless you've asked.
Yeah.
We are definitely not psionics.
Yeah.
Except for me.
Except for ironically.
He's giving the captain ideas about not feeding us meat, which is fine, because we never get. But also chains. Do we have chains? I didn't bring in chains. Did you
So,
bring in chains?
No. Do you say anything else? Or
Yeah, do all humans communicate telepathically? Are you a psychic?
Number one, I am not human.
No, I'm
Very
asking about you
clearly.
separately. I did
And-
not mean to offend you.
Number two, I am not psychic. My crew and I share a psychic bond. It has to do with the Sarin. It's very complicated. This is not the time to have this conversation.
I apologize for distracting you. I will discipline myself in my mind.
There's really no need for
meanwhile,
self-discipline.
on the inside,
So much drive.
I'm like riding up the elevator and like hearing about what's
You-
going on.
use your pass card, get into the elevator, ride up, and you aren't trying to go to the room. You're trying to get up to the third floor for their
Yeah, I want to get
camera.
the security taken care of.
Because you know you can individually hack each camera from like locally, or you can go to the source, which is what you're aiming for. So you kind of make your way up, and you're able in the elevator to just go straight up to the third floor. You open the door. Door opens, and it's pretty empty down there. Up down the hallway, you don't see anyone there, and you sort of make your way along. Give me a notice and wisdom I'll take intelligence over wisdom, because you are using essentially your ability to see the wiring to detect where kind of things are converging.
12.
12. Okay. You sort of keep your hand kind of along the wall and are just essentially utilizing it to get a picture of where the wires are converging, where all of the sort of everything that you've seen as part of the security network is leading to. And you identify the room that it appears to be going in.
So, being the very polite person that I am, first I knock on the door very lightly, and then I just open it and peek my head in with the drinks.
When you go to open this door, it is locked.
Oh, okay. So then I'm like, oh.
And you hear a muffled voice, hello?
I'm new, and I was told to come up and bring you some drinks. I've got a Mountain Dew and...
Oh, hell yeah! Do you actually have a Mountain Dew?
Yeah, she would
Okay.
have like poured whatever
Space
was
Mountain
there.
Dew.
She
Wait,
would have
sorry.
poured like a couple
Through the
of
door
options.
you hear like, is it a Mountain Dew or a Space Mountain Dew?
I have one Mountain Dew and one Space Mountain Dew and a root spear.
You hear a little chuckle from the room. The door opens and it's a mostly human-looking woman will greet you and just kind of open it up. Just like, man, I have been waiting for one of these. Who sent you up?
Oh, the bouncer at the front. I forget his name. He said that it was a great way to get to know everybody.
Oh, yeah. When did you start? Question: did you drug these ones?
No, I didn't
Okay.
drug these ones. I'm gonna drug the next set.
Cool.
Don't let them get vertical.
Like, man, I have been up all night. And
An
like,
upper and a downer
take
and
the
work
can.
right together.
And just like knocks back half the can and goes, huh, yeah.
Better, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, I've really been... So my dad did stuff... Do you mind if I... Hi, sorry, I've started all wrong. I'm Nia.
Hey, Nia. Kara.
Nice to meet you. Can I check this setup out, please? I swear, I'm not gonna do anything.
Give me a perform. You are acting. This is a really useful skill that you just picked up.
It's a really handy skill, and I'm gonna take my reroll on this one, I think. I run the... What would that be, a perform in intelligence?
Perform and
Or
charisma.
charisma? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take my reroll. Oh, way better. I got boxcars.
Okay. She has a sort of a moment, kind of peeks into the room and sort of does that like a couple of minutes. Just step on in.
Thanks.
So what did your dad used to do?
Oh, he was working in security for this weird firm. they were using a setup kind of like this actually, but they had the I-90.
I'm sorry, it's not the best setup. I mean, like, what firm was he working for? I've been trying to convince them to upgrade to the I-90 for the longest time, and that's not even an up-to-date system anymore.
It's not?
No.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, it's a piece of crap.
Oh man. He always talked it up like it was the best thing in the world. I don't know. This is cool. Oh shoot! I forgot the bouncer. He said, crap. What was it that he said? I'm sorry. I thought I wrote it down. I didn't. But he said it was important. I mean, I wrote it down, but then I left it downstairs. Look.
I can just call into him.
Okay, yeah.
And she, like, walks over to a comm.
And as she's walking over to the comm, what do I have?
What are you gonna do? She's, like, about to go in and put a message in and, like, call down.
I looked and I didn't see anything about distance other than the extended range.
I think the way it works is, the range lasts for the scene. So basically, if it's within the scene, but I have to have eye contact to establish the contact in the first place.
Okay.
And the far sight lets me later on outside the scene reestablish at distance,
Okay, cool.
which I can't normally do.
That makes sense.
And I don't have far sight. So.
Wait, so you can just hack Thea's mind at any time now?
No.
Only if he has farsight.
Okay.
Which he
Okay.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have to be looking at you.
Do you have to be looking back? Is it eye contact?
I think it's just
I think it's just line of
line
sight.
of sight.
Gaze
Okay.
into his
So what are you gonna do?
Okay, so I think the first thing Thea would do is drop the drinks. And just like have them just go fucking as many places as she can potentially drop them. Go. Oh my god,
are you alright?
So sorry. Whoa, are you?
I mean, I'm like, you got a little on me. That's fine. That's here.
She would have also tried to aim a little bit for the equipment where she could have.
There's a couple of little sparks going off.
Yeah,
Just
what
like,
she
oh
could, like,
man,
short
it's
out.
sticky everywhere. She like puts her can of Mountain Dew down and like grabs some rags or something.
Someone's jacket.
Oh,
that they
here, don't
left.
look. I'll get something down from the kitchen.
Okay.
Man, if you could help me out though, what was that bouncer's name again? The one who's right up at the front.
Her name was Kara. Sorry, I'm just like.
Oh, that's right.
Are you sure they're not monkeys?
Tialan.
Kara Tialan.
Yeah.
Nope, Kara is the one you're talking to.
Kara is the one I'm talking to.
Tialan is the
Tialan
bouncer.
Is the bouncer.
Tialan is the bouncer.
Yep. Kara
Okay.
is the one who's working second floor who you just spill drinks on.
Perfect.
Kara is the security person, like the one checking the cameras.
Oh, what? Oh.
They're in like it's the security room. It's
Oh, there's
like
a
there's
oh,
you
okay, I
see
got
screens, like
very
you see
confused.
cameras,
Okay,
you
like,
see the
okay.
alleyway,
Yeah.
like you see a little glimpse in the corner of someone with, like a grappling hook.
Did my like attempt to spill the drinks onto the equipment short anything out?
Probably not. If you want to do it that way, like if you want, that will need to be a roll.
I will happily roll that.
That's like the opposite. We'll still go with it's gonna be dexterity and probably let's make it punch like
Dexterity and punch.
yeah,
Okay.
like it's like your ability to do things at close range, like to intentionally drop an object.
There's no throw, right?
Yeah, there's no throw. It falls under
it's
exert,
punch.
but it's
I feel like fixing, like,
the inverse of fixing.
you have to really break something, you have to know how to fix it.
8.
It doesn't look like it shorted out anything that is affecting the cameras. It may have affected some other systems, but not the visual that she currently has.
Okay, so Thea leaves the room because that's all she can conceivably do at this point. And
You probably would have had to like throw a bucket of water onto the whole
Onto
thing
the-
to like
yeah.
actually break it.
Yeah.
Like they have to be a little bit spill proof. Like
considering where they are.
yeah.
Okay. So Thea's gonna leave. She's going to go down the hall and wait a little bit.
Okay.
And then she's gonna go, meet me. There's a problem with the cameras in that there's someone guarding them and I don't have a weapon.
So, are we changing? This is to all three of us,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we changing the plan?
Well, the question is, how many people do I need to drug down in the other room? Because I could try drugging this person.
Do we have any way
But
to
we
get
only
a
have 4
visual
doses.
into that room?
You were just in a room with cameras.
From what you can tell, there were no cameras in individual rooms. There's cameras in the hallways, so you probably need to act nonchalantly as you are having this conversation. But there are no cameras in the rooms on the 2nd or 3rd floor.
Okay. So Thea relays that information that the only cameras are in the hallways. There's no way to tell what the rooms are.
Are there cameras in the hallways on the 2nd and 3rd floor?
Yes.
Yes.
That would have been too easy.
You're welcome.
I mean, I could try drugging this person, but I'm only gonna have 3 doses left, and I know how long quiet takes, but I may have also fed them Mountain Dew, so I don't know how effective it's gonna be.
So you can't. Okay. So there's no telepathic like sigh sound.
Oh, I hear
But
it.
there is definitely like a staticky kind of noise that conveys the emotion of the sigh. We should have just gone with my plan, and then Ziana says out loud.
Presuming you're keeping contact, you would actually be privy to anything Thea is saying,
very
but
odd.
no
I'm
one
not-
else is. Yeah.
I can hear her thinking about what you're saying.
Yeah.
What? All right. What has happened is that she has encountered a security room. She cannot disable the security guard without using one of the drug portions that you gave her, and she has also given the guard Space Mountain Dew.
You
And-
could still attempt to place like a line. You probably only need to place one line shunt to be able to hack their system, at least if you're just trying to go for the cameras. Do kind of the level of hack that you want to do.
I really thought that she was more capable than that.
Hey.
Mentally, meet. Thea, is there no way that you could do what you need to do without even disabling the guard? Just without the guard even noticing?
Didn't she already loop cameras before? She's looped cameras before.
Okay, let me try something else.
Thea.
Thea hits the
wait.
button to go down in the elevator.
Thea.
You can keep talking. She's just going down the
Okay.
elevator.
Okay, she's going to like mentally isolate this
So it's not me.
it's not Takika.
No. I want to hear.
Yo, Thea.
This is a pep talk. Yep. I'm gonna fix this.
You don't.
No, I'm gonna fix this.
Yes.
It's gonna be really easy. All I have to do is go in there and pretend like I'm cleaning up the mess that I made. Then I can just tack the line shunt on, walk out, and use my data tap from the outside.
Just don't do anything too reckless.
No, I'm gonna fix this, okay? I got this.
Thea, you don't have to prove your skill to me.
Yeah, I know.
Alright.
And how can you possibly say that? Look, let's just talk later. I have to focus right now.
Understood.
So when Thea gets down to the kitchen, she'll grab like just a bunch of the paper towels and stuff from down there, like whatever substance is usually used to clean things up in space, which I assume would be a paper towel
It's
that
some
is
kind of like
more
hyper
durable.
absorbent.
Yeah. Oh, it's a ShamWow.
It's a ShamWow.
So Thea takes her ShamWow like back upstairs.
This is weird. So I've never been able to use a ShamWow. It's been one of my dreams. I love infomercials.
You haven't?
No.
I have a ShamWow.
It's like a sponge, but that's flat.
Do you want to use my
Yes! Let's spill things and then clean them up.
ShamWow? Yay! Okay.
So you take a ShamWow. Sorry, a spam show.
Spam show.
A spam wow. There are infomercials playing for it all the time, so you know exactly what to look for. And you make your way back up to the room, like knock back on the door. Like she immediately opens it and is like happy to see you. Like, oh, so I definitely soaked, and she names some random person's jacket
Eesh.
And she's like,
Sorry.
we should. There's a lot.
Look.
Help.
Yep, got it.
Okay.
Here, just shift. I'll just take care of this.
She goes back to like doing the cameras and stuff. I'm like, oh, did you find out what Tialan wanted?
Oh yeah. I just like he would look. Here's the paper, and then because even though Sarah didn't, she would have thought about like needing a message to be written and would have written down. She would have written down, look for the man in red. Because assuming this is a casino, the bouncer would reference to whoever the person is watching the cameras, like this person is suspicious, keep an eye on them.
Hands that.
So she hands that to her as she's wiping, and
Sweet,
then like,
thanks. And she immediately like goes and starts looking at the cameras and is like,
oh, so she's staring like right at the cameras.
Yeah.
Okay. So she taps as she's cleaning. I'm assuming there's a place where she could just like tap a line shunt on.
you're next to the desk. There's like a bunch of wires and kind of computer units, and you like slide one of the line shunts onto like the collection of wires.
Mm-hmm. So after she gets done, she's like, oh, what was the jacket that needed cleaning?
Oh, it's right there.
Okay, cool, thanks. I'll bring it back.
Can you bring another one of these at some point too?
Yeah, I'll
It's
come
gonna be
later
a long
tonight.
night.
Yeah, I believe you. Hey, also, I thought I saw the man in red leaving earlier, but I could be wrong. I'm sorry. It's been a rough night. All of the new things, and I just keep messing up.
Shit. No worries. There's something happening later, and like they're gonna have us on alert because them.
Yeah, legit. Always.
Just be careful. Like maybe stay away from the second floor if you
Oh,
you don't
man.
have to. Try not to get stuck with whatever server job.
I already got told that I gotta take care of that.
No, ask her which room to avoid getting stuck with.
Do whatever you
Oh,
want to
because
do.
we don't already know the. I thought we already knew the room.
You don't
Do we
know
not know the room.
You just know it's gonna be on the second floor.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought we already knew the room.
No.
She's like, oh man, I heard about something like that. It was in room
3. This is the big one.
Right. Oh crap. I think that's what I'm assigned to.
Ooh, honey.
Oh, keep your fingers crossed for me, okay?
You'll be fine.
You say that now. I'll be back with the jackets.
I didn't mean to make you worried. Sorry.
Good luck up here. I'll bring you another Mountain Dew later.
Thanks.
Well, if I could have fucked that up anymore, it would have been something else. Her mind like drifts to Conrad, and then she snaps back, and she's like, "Okay."
You see a picture of someone with really good abs
Really?
on salmon bars,
An Ica officer.
up and down in like an
Who's
Ica
the
jacket.
monkey with 6 abs?
8 abs.
The image in her
Like
mind.
a lumpy mattress.
No, but you see the Spider-Man side abs? Like you're like so chiseled, your like ribs have abs. And that one's have pectoral.
Yeah, where it's just like
Yeah, we're like armored
all
tank.
the abs.
How much time are we gonna devote to damn character's abs? I just want a ballpark.
All right. Okay, you have a room now. You know it's room 3.
Oh, right. So I would relay that information that it's room 3, and I would head back downstairs to get my next tray of drinks prepared, and I would take 4 drinks, and I would use my fingers to apply the doses when people aren't like looking.
Okay. You also got the impression from her that they're not here yet. The people coming to do the deal are not in the room yet.
They're not in the room yet.
Yep.
Okay. Then I
Or
would
if you
probably just
ask
go
around for that and you're like, oh, what's happening in room 3? And they're like, oh, the whole group's not here yet. Like,
Okay. So I think what I probably would have done then is I made a lot of assumptions, clearly. Okay, so then Thea would have wandered up to I forget her name, Pocky, the one who brought us in.
Yep.
Pakram?
Yes.
So Thea would like wander up to Pakram and say, hey, I hear that there's actually no, she wouldn't talk to Pakram at all. There's no way she'd do that. She would walk up to someone else and say like, oh man, I heard something about a server getting assigned to room 3 and needing to be really discreet and careful.
Yeah, that's definitely you. on the schedule, 100%. You were assigned to room 3 tonight.
That's what everyone keeps saying. Do you know when they're supposed to get here? I keep like wandering up there and there's...
Oh, you'll know when they arrive.
How?
You'll know.
Okay.
I'm so excited. It's Thea's first real job.
And
hacked
so
the
you
cameras yet?
pass
I've
a little
only
bit of
gone
time.
over.
The cameras are hacked. I presume you've passed on. Well, actually, you haven't done that yet. So give me your hack.
True.
Like,
Well, I wanted to wait a little time for her
Yeah.
to get bored. Okay, so
We have to get through a roof.
true.
You say that like it's
we'll
going to be
presume some
difficult.
time has happened, passed.
Oh my goodness, we're so suspicious in this alley.
You're just still in the fucking alleyway.
He goes like, can I just climb the wall? Like,
Maybe if you climbed
Rachel
back down
starts-
off of her back
Rachel starts
until
vaping.
we did the climbing part.
Oh, no.
9. Okay.
Are we hanging on your back just in the alley?
No, I am.
You
You know what? No, you
She's
are.
got multiple hooks and she's very
you
large.
distracted
No!
the person.
No, Kika.
I would say, yeah, you're gonna be able to do a pretty short loop. Like it's only gonna last a few minutes. It'll be enough to get them to the roof.
Get on the roof.
Okay. Okay, so then as soon as it's done, then I'll meet and say like, you're good to go.
Okay.
Let's go.
I will climb.
All right.
Do you
Grappling hook.
Do you just slowly go up and you're
Do you just get yourself up there with the grappling hook?
I
Like,
mean, like,
At least take Teddy Ruxpin over here.
do I have to let him touch me?
Yes.
But I don't want to. You can't.
Just deal with it. We all need a little Muppet on our back, all right?
I'm sorry
thought
that
he
my
said-
presence has disappointed you, and if you wish
I
to
thought
leave
that he
me
said
here,
he could climb up by himself with his,
I can eventually.
We
It'll
don't have
take me
time for
some
that.
time.
Don't go in my head. Not allowed.
All
You
right.
do not have my consent.
Very well, I will not.
Okay. And then I'll let you like piggyback or
hold
whatever.
on, like piggybacks. It's tiny.
Are you wearing armor?
Huh?
Are you wearing armor?
Yeah.
I think he just like
Like claws in.
I like feel like the ends of your
Yeah.
like
right.
As you slowly, it pulls a little bit. It's
like
not
carrying a
super
toddler.
comfortable. It takes a little bit of time,
He's not
and you
very
eventually
big. Like
get up there on
you,
your
as you
grappling
go
hook.
up, you realize he's a lot of hair and not a lot of mess.
And when you take a bath, you're like,
Yeah.
For anyone who's not using their mechanical grappling hook, I think you're probably at the end of this. It's slow. Like
it's great. It's great. It's so like it's just like
it's not quiet either.
So while I climb up, I'm
Okay,
like,
go ahead and give me an exert and strength, which I feel confident in your ability to succeed at.
Please.
Rachel. May I ask, are you a psychic?
no.
It takes about the same amount of time as it does.
Sometimes
Well, I've
you-
got the wee one on my back. I'm assuming.
I'm slightly bigger than other people.
She's very stubbornly insistent when she says no in a way that makes you like,
I apologize for asking. It's just some of the others they have confusing thoughts.
yeah, they're very stuck on that particular confusing thought.
Are we just walking along? Are we climbing alongside
like
houses?
It's like the side of the building.
I wish-
How
I
far
wish-
away from the bouncer? We didn't. Did you? Have you
No,
addressed
I-
the bouncer at all first?
I mean, we were in an alley,
was-
which isn't the
yeah.
front, and you said there was only like one entrance and one bouncer.
It was
Yeah.
unclear if I.
But that is where. I think you still need to address the bouncer. So we will
Okay.
we'll backtrack and say that has happened.
Yes, I just need to make the mental contact now, and then I hold on to it.
Cool. I think that's just the point of effort. And then, so he is, what is the sort of the thing you are telling the bouncer to not notice? And then I think it's only if like something happens, then they would do a mental saving throw.
Right. So it's.
Punched him.
I think just specifically not to notice anyone doing odd things around the building.
Okay. So like, just sort of as he looks over, he like sees window washers and it's like, yeah, that's totally normal.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, I don't really get to control how. It's just like literally he's not able to think about it.
Yeah. So you see him like kind of glance over and the bouncer appears to pay absolutely no attention to any of you.
And he does get a mental saving throw.
against that
Yeah.
right away. I thought that was potentially one. He does not succeed.
Yeah, thank goodness.
And you make your way. You are on the roof of the building. At the top of the building, you see kind of like a couple of duct-looking things, sort of like HVAC sort of outlets, stuff where exhaust is coming from. One of them smells kind of good, like food is being cooked.
Well, at the very least, we can get Kika in.
And yeah, Kika would, and actually, you have two very small creatures.
He's very sneaky too.
So the two of them would probably be able to fit in at least one of the HVAC entrances. You don't see like any door, like the stairs don't lead onto the roof or anything like that. You could potentially.
Plenty of buildings don't have roof access.
Yeah, you could potentially look around for like a particularly weak spot where you could smash your way through. Anything else in particular you're going to be looking for?
Can I look for something?
Yes. Anyone. Sorry,
oh.
that was directed to the roof
Sorry,
people.
did you want to go first and then I can go?
Meet Thea.
Yeah. What's up?
Do you still have eyes on the camera feeds?
No.
You don't have it through your hack?
I assume that hack wasn't long enough to hold anything,
Oh.
just long
I
enough
mean,
to loop.
she still has a line shunt there.
I do. I could rehack.
It's slightly harder the second time, but
I could attempt to rehack, but it might alert them. If I remember correctly, that's how that makes sense.
And the cameras inside are taken care of as well, or just the ones that let us climb to the top of the building?
everything is looped, but for a pretty short period of time. So the longer you take, the more likely it is they're going to see something.
Okay.
I can tell you're talking to her. How about you ask her where approximately on the outside of the building the window is that would enter the room that they're going to be meeting in, and then we'll station above that window, and if we need to, kick it in, we'll be ready.
So otherwise we're just staying here?
If we don't have to do violence, then we'll not do violence.
You could also hang me down and I could try to pop a window open. Maybe
You'd be
it's
able
like
to fix open
I
a
got
window.
a mono tool. It just changes weapon.
If we don't have to do violence, then it is probably easier if we just don't go in.
So some things you would know. Room 3, when you go past there, looks like it's not on the alley side. But there are rooms, and if you ask people, ask around, they will tell you that, like, some of the rooms will not be used tonight, so you could get an empty one, like a place to hide out.
That would
And
be-
no cameras aren't in the rooms. You do know as well that the cameras on the alleyway was basically just like kind of a long shot down. It didn't really have a lot of upward. So as long as Kika you don't try and drop below the second story, you should be able to stay mostly off the cameras as long as you're not super obvious about it.
Where is the room nearest to the one that we need
Is
to
that
be
like
in that is
on the
unoccupied?
front of the building?
Yeah, so it's essentially the building is on the alleyway. There's just the one side. Everything else is connected to like another building. So there is one side of upstairs rooms with windows, and then the other side are purely interior rooms.
Okay. So are you saying there's no window that enters room 3?
There's no window that enters room 3, but you could get like a room across the hall.
Okay.
And I can and then no one's using
That's-
that room, so
it-
we can hide out there.
Yes, so that room is empty? The one across the hall?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Then,
It's even and odd sides.
That makes sense.
all right, then,
I guess it'd be 4 across. the
Ziana, do you mind if I grab you?
Sure.
We'll grab Kika by the back of
I
her
got some
uniform,
scruff.
like by her scruff, and can I conceivably lower her down the side to open up the window?
You
so
need
that
to
we
like
can
tie
climb
some
in there?
rope onto her and then like
I'm a grappling hook.
grab slowly wind her down as you just keep reminding the guard that yes, there is totally windows that should be watched here.
Yes. Open the window.
Give me a fix and intelligence
This shouldn't be that hard. This should not
to
be
open
that
Please
to
don't
pop
say
off
things
the
like that.
shuttered blinds.
Oh, don't taunt me.
Because I know what'll happen if you fuck up.
See?
No, here's my thing.
See? Don't.
I have 10. I rolled 8 out of 3 dice. I kind of want to go big or go home on this.
No, 10 is very
10 is a
respectable.
good number.
I don't know what success is. Like, is 10
No
a big
one knows.
success?
No one knows.
I thought.
I can actually tell you, typically an average is 6, and then it kind of goes around, like, 6 and 8 is kind of my middle ground for, like,
It's a
medium.
low roll, though.
No, it's
It's
not.
low for, it's low for you.
I'll take it then.
10 total.
There's a lot of like you being like.
You hear a lot of noises.
Oh.
There's
Like,
definitely
if you
allowed.
pull me up and allow me to get my second like.
There's a loud like as she has to like fold over this large metal, like you score it and then like put your little leggies and like push this piece of metal to the side.
Easily.
You can definitely fit. Ludwig can definitely fit. It's gonna be a squeeze for Ziana.
Well,
Rachel should be fine.
If we're tearing metal, I'll just tear
You'll
it
just tear it
wider.
The bouncer does look up at one point, but definitely just like sort of shrugs and looks back down. Weird. As the telepathic hold remains on him.
Can I look in the room before I enter it?
Yes.
What?
You hear
I go
a
look-
high-pitched squeak.
Echolocating.
It is an empty room. There are I guess you wouldn't necessarily know there are no lights on or anything in it. It's pretty much like these rooms are pretty bare bones. It's like a large table. There looks like there's kind of like a tray, sort of like a place you could serve from in the corner. Like reasonably decorated, but it's empty. There's no people in there.
There's no gun drones. There's no poison pads. There's no.
That is too
There's
much
a
work for this
microphone in the
establishment.
corner and an LCD screen
Yeah.
for those karaoke parties.
Like kind of.
Okay, we can't play it. Okay, I get myself in and unhook from the hook and like it's cool.
So you skitter your way in, and the
I'll-
rest of you.
I'll lower the Care Bear next. And
You can see just fine in this room.
Yep.
night vision.
Cat.
I do. Wait, you can't see in here?
Ziana, like, Rachel gets in pretty easily. Ziana, you have to, like, push the metal a little bit wider. So you now have, like, half of a metal shutter window that has, like, the metal's been kind of rolled and bent to the side.
You're welcome.
How do you eat at night?
I don't usually have to hunt my food.
Ah, that's right. Shame.
Sometimes it is a shame.
And
We're in. Beep, meep, meep. We're all in. We're hiding.
downstairs
Okay, good.
on the main floor, it is kind of as it has been for most of the night. You hear sort of the sounds of people like gambling. There's sort of moving cards and clinking tokens, and there's sort of like a quiet lull that comes over the room as so the door to the exterior opens and a couple of people come in. And the first set of people that you see come in, like, don't really register to you. Like, you recognize, they have the chartreuse serpent. Of course I picked that color. Like, chartreuse serpents, they're wearing kind of, like, mostly green. They've got, like, a big, like, one of them has a big emblem, on their back. They are definitely, there are 2 of them. So they're 2, like, pretty well-armed guards with them, and then there's them. And they seem to be carrying like something kind of large, a sort of a box sort of case with them that appears to be like a locked case that they're carrying on them. And you're like, okay, those are. One of them looks. Actually, no, you wouldn't have known who they look like. That's fine. And they just sort of like they walk through, and there's like a couple of people who kind of give them some side eyes, especially some people who like look like they have other gang symbols on their attire, but no one really does anything, and they go through. And like you just hear this sort of like loud groan from some of the servers of like I hate the serpents. They're like there's just this sort of a feeling of animosity of them. But they're bad tippers, but they're like friends of the boss, and so they always run these like back deals here that always seem to go wrong. Like, do you have any idea how hard it is to get bloodstains out of carpet?
Oh my god.
And these sort of things.
Probably the kind of dicks who send their drink back like 3 times.
I know, because it doesn't taste quite right.
It has opiates in it.
Oh my
And
god.
then
Get over
you
it.
see another, a little bit later, sort of maybe 15 or so minutes after that, the door opens again, and you don't necessarily recognize them as rapidly. there are 2 individuals, and it takes you a moment to see who's walked in because you realize you have to adjust your vision down, as you kind of have to do with keycap. And the first one that comes in, you would recognize. They have, as an Aratos, they are the small birds. They have like this sort of big, they are clearly a male. They have the very large plumage, sort of brightly colored feathers. They don't match the description of, I guess actually you probably haven't talked about Captain Dratton a lot. So they come in, and behind them, you are surprised to see a trio. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
I'm in room 4.
Why do you have children?
This is what happens when you have
Your children on
It
pirates.
might not be mine.
No, it is. Remember, your son was on a freaking pirate.
Does he have obnoxious neck?
It's your damn son.
I mean, probably.
Kika, I can't kill your son, but I want to murder an Aratos.
This
Drug
is called
everyone except for
someone
Kika's son.
gave me a gift, and I'm going to pick it up and throw it on the ground and stomp on it and tackle. Thank you so much for joining us. We will come back in with
Really,
what happens to end this mission.
how far down the sheet did we get? I just wanted.
You're in this section, which I want to point out. This section was all about stealing. You're just like it's not written in chronological order because it's like here's a list of obstacles. But I'd like to note that I had to add a post-it note, which was drugs. You didn't even ask for a drug that exists in the book, so I had to make up a drug.
They don't have any kind of sleepy time drug?
No, the closest they have is one that's like puts people into like a zombie-ish sort of state. That you can like tell them what to do and give them commands and stuff like that. So I was like, you just want them to sleep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just night-night.
Yeah.
So you just want a night-night drug.
Night-night drug.
You're giving him a fuck ton of NyQuil. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I'm gonna go ahead and read out the donations that came through. Oh, well then never mind. I will read nothing out. It's fine.
I make up a tip for 72 Guck. And the comment is chartreuse serpents rule.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We are going to sign off and talk about where you can find us next. A reminder that Friday night is going to be another episode of Eat, Pray, Kill, so you should join us here at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And then let us start in the opposite order that we began in. Who are you? Why are you here? Where can we find you?
I'm Blue Jay. I am here because you asked me to. You can find me usually in Seattle or on the internet at twitch.tv/BlueJay, on Twitter at BlueJay_712, on Instagram, on Patreon, on all sorts of places. Tomorrow you'll be able to find me on twitch.tv/Roll20app, where I'll be playing some Burning Wheel. Last episode, my character got punched in the face with a gauntlet.
Whoa.
She's very injured. Very injured. And in Burning Wheel, injuries last for fucking ever. So
That's fun. I know that feeling.
And then on Friday, I'll be on twitch.tv/DND playing some D&D. That character is not injured, so that's better. Yeah, I think that's the only role-playing stuff I have right now. So.
Oh no, only 3.
Well, fine, okay, sorry. In about 2 weeks, I'll be GMing for the first time on my own channel for an amazing cast, including the creator of Dungeon World, Adam Coble, my friend Trista-Ray, Nadja Otikor, Holly Conrad, and Matthew Mercer.
Baller.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Who was that last one?
I've never heard of him.
I mean, he's a friend of mine. He really wanted
That's really
to
nice for you to do
be
as someone
part
a
of it.
solid. Wow. Awesome.
Yeah, he's played D&D for a while. He is really into lore, like he's practically written a book about his campaign.
Oh,
Yeah.
a little intense.
Yeah, but I mean, he's my friend, so
yeah, no. Good.
I'm letting him play. It's just a one shot, so he won't have too much lore. To
Elevate
write.
the little ones. It's good.
Yeah,
It's good.
yeah.
Sarah.
Hi guys, I'm Sarah. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Shellgame, or if you're in the Seattle area and want to check out live performances, or maybe in other areas and you want to check out live performances, check out sarahperforms.com, because not all of my upcoming performances are here in Seattle.
Oh.
Traveling.
Bum, bum, bum.
Pretty exciting.
Your turn.
Hi, I'm Claudia, but on the Twitch and Twitter I go by Jackie Dash. JAKIDAS8. Meow.
I don't know. I just felt like I I was kind of hoping Tony might do that.
Sorry. I do streaming. Saturday I'm gonna sew. Get ready for SakuraCon.
How's your costume coming?
It's mostly good. I say hesitantly. What are you? I'm gonna be Croy from Little Witch Academia, and it looks great. And then on Monday Fun Days I play Resident Evil 4, which is amazing. I've never played that game before. It's great with the Wii. Go buy a Wii and get the Resident Evil 4 on the Wii, and then you waggle your remote with quick time events, and I'm super good at it, and I kill the sea monster. Save the Earth.
All right. Hi, I'm Tony Beeman. I'm at Tiny Beeman if you want to find me online, but mostly you have to find me live. I'm at Unexpected Productions in Seattle almost every weekend, usually multiple times. So if you come to Seattle, hit me up. I'll get you some tickets.
And I am Lizzie the Bold. You can find me at Lizzie the Bold on the Twitches and the Twitters. This is all I do right now. I mean, aside from like a really boring job.
We're gonna put you in the coat closet.
I have a
I
job.
built a little
It's
bed.
it's
that was strong.
uninteresting and you can't watch it on Twitch. But if you ever have questions about how car insurance works, I'm your girl. And yeah, but you should definitely tune in on Friday for Eat, Pray, Kill, because there's some people on that who I kind of like, and I think you should kind of like.
I heard the GM's alright.
The GM, yeah.
You know, I don't know how they are as a GM, but I've heard they're good at smooching.
Who told you? Who do I need to fight?
Destroy!
I'm Random Tuesday. I have been your GM for this evening. You can find me on my own channel, Random Tuesday. I stream Thursday mornings and Tuesdays and Sundays. That's the other day. And you can also find me running my last session of Avalon High School. New Avalon High School this Sunday before Layla the Vampire Slayer returns over on Roll For It. So come check that out as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to support the Geek Space and follow the Geek Space in all of the spaces, like Twitter and things like that. Check out our Patreon and come back and we'll see you sometime soon. Thanks so much. Bye.